All right, welcome back. My name is Angela, and I am a director with Tupperware. Today, we are going to make a taco casserole using our stack cooker. We're going to use several products today as we talk about the stack cooker. But the first thing that I want to talk about is grinding up your own meat. So I went to the grocery store today, and I actually took a couple of pictures of the meat at the in the deli section and the meat that's in your regular counter like you normally buy it. Okay, so the meat in the deli section, that was the chuck roast, so that's going to be like your 70-30, right? So the real fatty stuff, typically the cheapest hamburger meat, $4.69 a pound. Okay, your leaner meat, that's about the 85% and leaner, $6.49 a pound to have it already ground up for you. A lot of people buy the tubes. Right? You bought those tube packages, okay? The super duper lean meat in those tubes is $2.19. Not bad, okay? But remember, that's that 70-30, so it's that super fatty stuff that's gonna cook into nothing. Then your, let's see, this one is 80-20, $3.49 a pound. Okay, and then we had the lean sirloin, $4.99 a pound. Okay, everybody with me? All right, so then I decided I wanted to look at what the actual roasts were, right? We had a top round roast and there was a bottom round roast, both of which we oftentimes use when we're making like shredded beef or Italian beef, right? If you do just a regular roast with potatoes and carrots, those are very typical meats that you would use and purchase, yes? Okay? They were both $2.49 a pound. Way cheaper than all of those other hamburger meats, other than the tube sausage that was the super fatty. So I actually went with the top round, and this is what I got. All right? I got a 2 pounds, 3 ounces. All right, and you can see very little marbling. So this is around that 85% lean, okay? Super lean for more than half the cost of the super fatty stuff, okay? So what am I gonna do with this, right? I want hamburgers, I want hamburger meat, I want tacos. All I have to do is chop this into strips. Very easy. Just like that. And then I'm going to put them in our Fusion Master. This is our meat grinder. And you're going to see I'm going to grind it through. Now I have the smallest setting on here right now. Oops, sorry. I have the smallest setting on there right now, so it's going to make it a nice small pieces of that hamburger meat. Look at that coming out of there. All right. Now normally you would suction this to your tabletop so it doesn't move around so much. But because we have a tablecloth on here, we're just holding it. Look at how beautiful that is as it comes out of there. All right, now we're only going to do about a pound of this. So that's only about 3 strips. Super fast and super easy. It's going to take us practically no time to get this done. Now, when you buy your hamburger meat at the grocery store, first off, they add this stuff called pink slime. All right, about 1/3 of a pound is this pink slime. And what that is it is added fat, it is added food coloring, and it's added stuff that makes it like really stick together so that when you make patties, it'll hold. And it's a filler so that it stays nice and pink and pretty. But you're paying for that. Use your hand. All right, so a whole third of that 1 pound of meat that you're buying, which is way more expensive than just the roast, is stuff you don't want. All right, this is our last strip. Look how fast this is. You just go nice and slow, get it around there, push it through. That tablecloth's giving us fits, isn't it?
Well, my hand's too big.
Good thing I don't have nails today. All right. And if you look at this, it is pink all the way through. Have you ever broken into a thing of hamburger meat and it's super brown on the inside? That's because they put food coloring on the outside of your meat. So you'll buy it. Perfect. All right. Look at how beautiful that came out. No brown in that at all. It's nice and pink. So it's way cheaper and way healthier for you. All right, to this, I'm going to add, uh-oh, where'd it go? We had a partial seasoning pack. Anybody know where that went? It might be in the vegetable thing.
Oh, that vegetable.
All right, so to this, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of taco seasoning or Southwest Chipotle seasoning. If you get the opportunity to make your own Southwest Chipotle seasoning, highly recommend it. It's going to be way healthier for you and it tastes way better. It doesn't have anywhere near as much sodium in it. And we're just going to give that a little stir. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the 2 middle parts of our stack cooker. And you'll see these are the exact same depth. The difference is their bottoms. One is a flat bottom and the other one is a colander bottom. We're going to set one inside the other. And we're going to add our meat to that, just like so. And because we ground it ourselves and we don't have all that extra starches and what have you in there, it's nice and crumbly, so we're not going to have to worry about it sticking together. And we're just going to take that and put that in the microwave and cook that for 4 minutes. All right?
Should I put the lid on or
no? All right, so this is the Fusion Master. It's the meat grinder. It's super easy to change out, so we can also use it for our cheese. Except right this minute, because I'm trying to show you it's being honored, because that's what it does. There we go. All right. We're going to swap that for our cheese one. So the master system is fantastic because all you need when you have the master system is just the one base, okay? So with this one base, I can have a Fusion Master, which is our meat grinder. I can have our cheese grater. We also have a fabulous sorbet maker. And we also have a juicer, all right? So you can do all kinds of fantastic cocktails. And they're super easy to interchange. Just mix and match those handles. Yes. Yep, the juicer is seasonal. We need the top washed. All right, so while we're waiting on the top of that to get washed, because we don't want to put our raw meat in with our cheese, we're going to go ahead and get our onion all minced up. So this is our Quick Chef Pro system. And right now I have just a little bit of onion in there, but I'm going to go ahead and chop that up. So just a little bit of stirring is going to give it nice and diced up pieces, so a little bit coarser. But I want to mince, right? So I'm going to go a little more. So a few more, and I have them diced very fine. And I'm actually going to go a little bit more still. I want them super fine. All right. Whee! Look at that. Tiny, itty bitty little pieces. All right, so what we're going to do is our meat is going to come out of there in just a minute. We're going to go ahead and grind up our cheese. So the cheese, you want to definitely grind your own cheese, because when you buy cheese that's already shredded, it's going to have all kinds of cornstarch and flour and those kind of things in it that's really just not good for you. And you're going to have a hard time getting it to melt really easy. When you grind up your own cheese, you know it's just cheese. There's not all those added things in it. And it's going to melt really creamy. It's going to be fantastic. Super easy to do. Look at this. Whole cup of cheese, done. All right, super fast, super easy. I don't even think I can open a plastic bag that fast. Right? Perfect. Yep. So we are going to move a couple of these things out of our way here. So to make our taco casserole, we have our taco meat cooking, and it'll be in here in just a minute. And then we are going to add some crushed tortilla chips. Voila, magic. We need 1.5 cups of crushed tortilla chips. Have you ever had crushed tortilla chips on a salad, like a taco salad? Super good. So what we don't use today in our taco casserole, then I'll just use the taco salad. Super easy. Crush those up. And if you get them that are in the front, they might already be crunched like this. All right, for our recipe, we're also going to be using a little bit of green onion. All right, sometimes this is called chives. All right, either one, they're talking about the same thing. They want the green part of the onion, not the white part. Okay, if they actually call for green onion, sometimes they want you to include some of that white part. If they call for only chives, they're only asking for the green part. Holy wow, look at that. That is gorgeous. Gorgeous. Oh, that has raw meat on it. I need another spatula. Did the other spatula get washed? All right, while we're waiting on our spatula, look at how perfect this hamburger meat is. 4 minutes in the microwave. That's it. That is amazing. Look at that.
Really good.
Super fine. Nothing sticking together.
Separating it in the middle.
We separate in the middle because the microwave can only penetrate the container 1 inch in every direction. So by having that hole in the middle, you can see there's a hole in the middle there. It allows it to cook from all sides, not just from the top. All right, you're also going to see why we use that colander. I'm going to try really hard not to spill this. All the excess, which because we got that super lean meat, we don't have a lot of excess, but you get that excess right down there. Now, if we had had the stuff that comes in the tube, it would have been chock full of this really gross liquidy stuff, and that's all that pink slime cooking out of it. So again, here we have a whole pound that actually cooked, and had we used the tube, we'd only have maybe 2/3 of a pound that actually cooked, and the rest would have all been cooked in the bottom. Oh yeah, look at that. I don't even have to do anything to get it to separate. It's already separated. I'm telling you, grinding your own meat is the way to go. All right. I need one of the other containers. Like the base piece will be great. No, the bigger one.
The big one.
Yeah. All right, so now we're going to just layer this in here. So this is the large part of our stack cooker. And it says to put in our ground beef. So we want to make sure that we're changing this over to the big one, mainly because of that colander piece. We don't want all of our food to mush through that colander piece as we're adding the different layers. And we did the colander piece so it would drain out all the excess fat, okay? If you're using that super lean and you don't mind if there's a little bit of fat in there, like what was in there was very little, then you could do it all in the same and just have a little bit of that excess fat in the bottom. It's just not necessary. All right, so I'm layering that out nice and flat on the bottom. And to that, I am going to add some crushed tortilla chips right on top. And it says about a cup and a half. That's approximately 2 little handfuls. Then we need, very clean. Then we need to sprinkle over some cheddar cheese over those tortilla chips. So we're just going to take our freshly grated shredded cheddar cheese. Ooh, that is a tongue twister. Shredded cheddar trays. I don't know. This stuff. Yeah. Right? So we're just going to kind of layer that on there. Oh, yeah, that looks good. Then we are going to add in a spoonful, or we're going to spoon some salsa over it, and then some guacamole. And we made some fresh salsa and guacamole earlier that's going to be super yummy. So we're just going to add some of this to it. Look at that. Don't worry, there's still going to be some for dipping. All right. And then we're going to add some of our guacamole to half of it, apparently.
It's not good for you. Don't eat it.
This stuff is so... No, it's okay. You can do half. It's not a big deal, or you can omit the guacamole if you really don't like it. But honestly, the guacamole is really good, and it's super good for you. It's one of the superfoods. It has a ton of good cholesterol. In our diets, we get so much bad cholesterol all the time. Adding a little good cholesterol in there will definitely help. All right, next up, we are going to add some sour cream. Again, it says to add 1.5 cups. So I'm going to add 1.5 cups. About, some.
Not enough.
That's approximately 1.5 cups. We're just going to layer that in there. Yeah, that looks good. And last but not least, we are going to put some chives right on the top. And if you wanted to add the minced onion that we made, you should add that when you're cooking your hamburger meat. Turns out, it goes in a little earlier. But that's okay. We're just not going to add that today. All right. And voila, it is done. This you can use like a dip, or you can just simply spoon it out and put it on over rice. All kinds of different ways you can eat it. Super duper yummy. Crazy easy to make. All right, guys, that's it. That's all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed my recipe, the taco casserole. You can heat this in the microwave if you want to, just to kind of get that cheese a little bit melted, give that sour cream a little bit of warmth. But you don't have to, so don't fret. Either way you want to do it, as long as you enjoy it, is all that matters. So if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. And of course, as always, subscribe below. That way you can see all of the fabulous recipes and training videos that I have to offer. Thanks, guys. Bye.